forgot to put my lights on. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Bear with me, guys. I am taking care of the little one. And she has been getting up. Okay. Hi. Welcome. I just want to say right off rip, of course, welcome to the channel. It's your boy Vlhadus. And tomorrow, which is my usual regular scheduled programming, I will not be here and stream tomorrow. I set this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that I have a funeral to go to. So I will not be streaming at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So that's why I'm streaming today. I do appreciate, of course, everybody coming in and hanging out. Of course, we got, of course, Vale, we got Nemesis, we got OG. Again, thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging with your boy Vlad. So there is actual other topics that I want to actually talk about, but I figured let's start with the new dev discussion. Had to switch to Twitch. I have terrible Wi-Fi at work. Oh, really? YouTube usually works pretty good. Oh, Penumbra, you actually got the hat? Dude, that's awesome, man. I hope you love it, man. I like I said, I love this hat. I actually ordered another hat because I love black hats, but I ordered the black and gray hat because I love gray too. So yeah. Good choice, dude. Good choice. Gibbs, dude, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And OG, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. I have too many black hats, so I got the blue one. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I might get the blue one eventually. I probably will get all the versions of my hat, to be honest with you. But money's been a little tight, so saving where I can for now. But we got a new dev discussion. Let me see. You left the sticker on the bill. Is that an old-fashioned statement or a little apathy or a little apathy? No, I guess where is it? Right here? Yeah, I can take it off. I mean, usually, I don't know. I leave it on, makes it feel like it's still new. I don't know. So, but yeah, I'll take it off eventually. All my old hats have no sticker on them, but it is what it is. Also, what's up, Firebrand? Always great to see you, dude. So, and we've talked about this on my channel before, right? And Intrepid basically left a singular sentence when it comes to this particular dev discussion. So let's look at it. I'm gonna do that so it's easier for you guys to see. What types of items and upgrades do you expect to drop from regular mobs? Do you feel good when regular mobs have a rare chance to drop powerful items? So, I was just curious if that was a thing now. I'm old and out of the loop. Right. Firebrand, I have this sneaking suspicion that you're probably my age. Like, I don't know. I don't think you're the age you say that you are. But I would say, talking about, yeah, I'm older than he is. I just did 49. Dude, my knees feel like I hit 49. No, I'm just joking. My knees are actually pretty good. But okay, so let's talk about this real quick, right? What types of items and upgrades do you expect to drop from regular mobs? In my opinion, a regular non-elite mob should never drop a completed item, in my opinion. I think there should be certain gatherables that can drop from that mob. Now, I don't mind if it's like, how can I break it down in my own head? Would I want a weapon to drop from a regular trash mob, even at like a 1% chance? No, I don't. Not in Ashes specifically. My back feels like 150 lately. Think I may have a bulging disc. Tell you that's no picnic. Or a bulging disc. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to talk Ashes, guys. You're over here talking about dick jokes. Come on. Come on. So we have gatherables, we have processed goods, and we have like finished goods, right? So in your opinion, would you want like completed like armor, like a whole ass drop from a rare mob? Even if it's like at a 0.5% chance, or even if it was at a 1% chance, would you want completed gear like armor or a weapon to drop from a regular mob, non-elite? I'd say no. I would say no. So let's take this. Oh, that's not how you do it. There we go. I would not want completed gear / weapons to drop from regular mobs, even at a 0.5% or 1% chance. And the reasoning for that is I really want these completed finished crafts to be done by crafters. I want like completed items to drop from bosses, whether it's dungeon bosses or raid bosses. That's where I want like the chance of completed gear / weapons to drop. Now, if we're talking about a 1% chance for an elite mob to drop a completed epic gear or a mythic gear, I'm okay with that personally. Like, we're talking an elite mob at this point. We're talking about a dungeon mob at this point. But I wouldn't want the regular mobs you just go find like outside of, Marilith to drop something like that. I think that's kind of ridiculous personally. Let me see. I'd love to see some epic or legendary drops from normal trash mobs, both singular and full sets. Why the hell not? Keeps going out on adventures interesting and exciting if you feel that at any time you may get something amazing to drop. So Firebrand, I actually partially agree with you. So I think you should get epics and potentially even a legendary gatherables. Hell, I would even be okay with processed stuff too, with like a 1% chance or a 0.5% chance. Zillin, dude, it's always good to see you, dude. Welcome. Psycho, how you doing, dude? So I want crafters to really remain the thing in Ashes as far as the completedness of sets and stuff. I really don't want there to even be a 1% chance to bypass that. because I think you can still have that very exciting moment of being like, oh shit, I just got like a legendary gatherable, or I got a legendary process good that I can now give to my crafting buddy and potentially make like this epic thing. You know what I mean? Like that to me is still exciting in the grand scheme of things. But we're talking completed gear from a regular trash mob. So again, if we're talking a dungeon mob, I am all up for, you know, an elite mob to drop, and I'll say it right here. Now if we are talking elite mobs, then I would have no problem for a 1% or even 0.5% chance to drop completed gear slash weapons. For regular mobs, I think dropping epic, mythic, or even legendary components, gatherables, or processed goods would be how do you spell sufficient? Would be cool. Okay, let's just say that it would be cool. Yeah, I think dropping epic, mythic, or even legendary components or gatherables would be cool. Mr. Valentine, you are a straight up G. Sufficient. Okay. Regular mobs should have an exciting component, or not component, should have exciting 1% rewards to them, but I think it shouldn't be completed gear slash weapons. Okay. Jesus, some people were leaving like dissertations over here. Okay. Do you feel good when regular mobs have a rare chance to drop powerful items? Of course it feels good. Like, why would it not feel good? Let's okay. You see, I think those people are a bit thick then. So what are we talking about? That's about as rare a drop as Star Trek's online loot box RNG. There's a ton of other things in game to do. I just like that super rare chance to exist to keep things spicy. I agree with you, Firebrand. I mean, I'm just leaving feedback as far as like in my perfect Ashes of Creation kind of game. Like, I just wouldn't want completed gear to drop at that level. Because I want there to be other avenues of like getting a gatherable or a process good to then transform into a crafted thing. You know what I mean? Because again, we're talking regular mob here, you know. So Anton, dude, how are you doing, man? Silverbell, what's going on? Always great to see everybody. You see, I've heard that the best loot drops from streamers. Bro, wait till you see me start playing. You ain't gonna see shit drop for me. I have like the worst luck in MMOs. Let me see. If it's a legendary component, then that's ready for endgame, then it is 100% worth grinding. Well, absolutely. And again, people have to understand that gatherables and processed goods are just as good as finding a completed piece of gear. Like, gatherables are like going to be so sought after in Ashes of Creation. Like, it just is. So I think, you know, again, we're used to MMOs dropping like gear because that's just what it always is, right? But I think if it's dropping like exciting components, like in parts to make completed gear, it's equally as exciting in this game, in my opinion. And you're still going to be able to sell that shit in the auction house for a bit of freaking gold too. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's gonna be exciting, I think, either way. Let me see. I pried an ogre ring in BDO when the first came out. I took 4 weeks of constant grinding of collecting just 2 necklaces. Jesus. See, I don't know how people can do that. I know there are people that play MMOs to like grind their way to getting that single thing. Like, I've been playing Last Epoch recently, but I don't, because RNG and, you know, there's so much loot to get from like all the classes and stuff like that. I've never grinded to get a particular item. I just keep playing the game until it drops or it doesn't, you know what I mean? And there was a helm that I really wanted to do a certain build with, and I ended up getting it on my rogue as a drop, then on my acolyte, which is my warlock. And, you know, I finally got it. I got to go and probably use it, but, you know, I was like, I finally got that freaking helm, you know what I mean? But I wasn't really grinding for it. I was just playing the game, you know? But there's people that literally play the game to get that one single piece of gear. You know, I know there's people like that. I've never really been that kind of person. I just enjoy just to play. Let me see. If it's a component, then it keeps the flow going. No, exactly. That's what I believe too. I want them to make accomplishing things to be skill-based rather than time investment-based. Yes, like I think there should be the time investment, but not in that grindy way, right? Like, because I think gatherables, right, going to a certain area and like grinding, right, like in a sense, right, you might call it that, but you're just going and chopping certain trees down, or you're getting certain bushes down, or you're getting certain you know, mining nodes down, and you're grinding those levels to like get all these components with, right? Because maybe you're trying to find like some of the more rarer materials, or, you know, whatever the case that, you know, that is. But ultimately, like, I would rather there be other things that you can put your time in, that if you just completed the obstacle, right? Like, if you just did the thing, you get the thing. Like, I think, again, there's a lot of MMOs that dick you around in that regard because they want to keep you in a wheel, right? They want to keep you like going, right? We need you to keep logging in every day. We need those metrics to show to our shareholders, right? So they purposefully do things to keep you on that wheel, rather than just being like, well, hey, like, if you want the reward, then just go kill the boss, right? Like, just go do the thing. And I think that's just a better way to do certain bits of rewards, right? And again, it's not saying that I'm trying to eliminate grinding entirely. I know there's going to be grinding in Ashes of Creation. Nemesis, dude, what's going on, dude? Just do it. Yeah, of course. I mean, I think, again, it's just one of those things where I gotta play Ashes to see where I don't necessarily mind the grind, because I think there could be some avenues where grinding could be 100% acceptable, but it's going to be one of those things too where it depends on the player, right? Because some players think it's worth grinding to get X piece, and some people don't think it's worth grinding to get Y piece. And then, you know, like, it's just, again, it's about what you value at the end of the day. Like, in World of Warcraft, I never valued mounts. I never cared. I have like 136 mounts, and I played the game for 15 years. I've never really been much of a mount collector, because in WoW, a mount is a fucking mount. If you have a ground mount, they're all the same. They're just different They're different skins. But in Ashes, I might end up being a mount collector, because there's gonna be mounts with like speed variables, endurance variables, and of course cosmetic variables, which look really cool. But there's actually reasons to get certain types of mounts, and not only that, to then breed them to get even better mounts. So where in WoW I didn't give two shits about the mount system, in Ashes, like, I actually might invest quite a bit of time trying to get and earn mounts. You know what I'm trying to say? Let me see, item drops tonight. Ooh, yes. So basically we're just been talking about like, what do people expect from regular mobs? Like the mobs right outside of Marilith at a 1% chance, like what would you want to drop from a mob like that? And for me, I just don't think completed gear should drop from regular mobs. I think you should have a pretty good chance to drop completed gear at not a pretty good chance, but like a 1% chance to drop completed gear from like an elite mob. But I think completed gear should still be rare even at a boss level. In my opinion, I think completed items, whether they're mythic or legendary or whatever, if they are completed, they should actually be a pretty rare sword or a rare helm or like rare shoulders. Not the rarity rare. I'm just saying, like, they should be like 1% or 3% or something like that, right? Like they should not drop often, but they should be like basically items that aren't craftable. Like, meaning you can only get this particular weapon from this boss drop. That's it. There is no recipe to create that sword. That completed sword only drops from this dungeon boss, and that's it. Like, I think that stuff is kind of cool, personally. That Nakua otter mount looks sweet. Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, the otter mounts look freaking fantastic. This soundtrack is huge nostalgia. I just picked up the boots of Blinding Speed again. Oh yeah, dude, I love listening to the Elder Scrolls music, and I've never played Elder Scrolls. Like, the last Elder Scrolls I played was Oblivion, like from back in, like, what was it, like the regular Xbox. So let me see. I think crappy regular gear could drop from humanoids like bandits or orcs, just like noob gear. I think I could be okay with like an uncommon completed chest dropping from a regular mob at a low % chance. Like, I still think it should be low. I don't think it should be like a common drop personally, but I think even at a 2% chance, sure. You want to drop an uncommon green, go right ahead, dude. Like, it ain't gonna, you know, no skin off my nose. I agree with you on that, Anton. Like, I'm okay with dropping like noob gear, but I'm talking like actual, because they're basically talking about like, you know, powerful items, or like how rare do you want these things. And I just think anything that's worth having, like, you shouldn't just get from a regular mob, in my opinion. Let's see, on this, since we were paying our taxes, collecting and selling glint, is this the same as if mobs just dropping gold? Gold doesn't seem to have the same influence I would think it should. That's actually a good point. You know, I'm really interested to see how the gold economy is going to end up panning out in Ashes, because mobs technically don't drop gold, they drop glint. But the glint doesn't serve any other value than just getting gold out of it, right? So again, it's so hard to like play this stupid game in my head rather than actually playing it on paper. It could need repair to be useful, potentially. You see, I want the area directly around the gates to drop low level common gear. All other gear in the game should be crafted. That's my ideal scenario. I think I could be fine with that. I honestly feel like I could be fine with that. I again, in the starting area, you have like a bunch of common, you know, potentially like uncommon gear, you know, dropping, because of course, you know, I hope there's actually like a deconstructing mechanism too, from like crafters, to where you can deconstruct to get the materials out to like maybe create other items or better items or whatever. But the one thing that I really want to happen is at a very low level that you already start earning components to craft. Like, I want crafting to be like the thing in Ashes, even at early game. I want it to even be more so at early game, because we all know crafting is the late game thing. But again, in most MMOs, you don't really craft at level 6. Like, you just don't, because you just wait for completed gear to drop, or you get it from quests or whatever. Like, people usually don't start paying attention to their crafts until like level 20 or 30, or even end game, really. Like, dude, I've seen people in WoW that don't even really mess with their professions until they hit max level. And I just don't want that to be the case for Ashes. I want to influence and get people like upgrading and picking their profession super early and crafting shit as soon as possible. And the only way you can do that is that the game actually rewards components and gatherables instead of completed gear. So these people can get these components and craftables to craft completed gear to then give out to other people and to sell to other people. Like, that's how you do that, you know? You see, there's a group of modders competent remaking Oblivion in the Skyrim engine as a mod. They're calling it Skyblivion, and it's bigger and better than the original, just not finished yet. Dude, that's insane. I mean, dude, go shout out to the mod community, man. There's some crazy people out there that are doing some crazy stuff. But you see, I'm worried about gold. Yeah, like, I think gold, I'm not really too worried about it. I just need to see it in practice. There's a lot of things I'm worried about in Ashes, but I don't think gold is one of them, at least in my eyes, because I think the people at Intrepid have a really good grip on the economy, especially when it comes to the professions. So I think the gold economy is going to reflect upon the implementation of the profession economy itself, right? So we'll have to wait and see. You pay your taxes with it, but just seems a needless complexity. Like I said, it's just one of those things that we have to play out in practice. It could be needlessly complex. Like, we don't know, right? I mean, again, this is the problem with playing Ash as a creation on paper. You know, like, we think that there's going to be certain issues that may arise when in actuality it's like, oh wow, it turns out it wasn't an issue at all, and it's maybe it wasn't as complex as we thought it was, right? So I think a lot of the times it's just, you know, we got to see it first before we make any kind of real judgments on it. It's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to be a little leery on certain things, but sorry, I'm looking at my baby monitor because my wife is passed out and my baby was stirring a little bit, but I think she's okay. Okay. Let me see. To add to my earlier point, it would be even better if leveling was slow enough that getting an incredible rare sword at level 18 mattered for a week or so instead of just a few hours. Well, I think, again, this is a very nice segue into the next subject that I actually wanted to talk about. Let me see. So you can max level and troll to a certain extent. Well, it's let me talk about leveling right after I do this. Do you feel good when regular mobs have a rare chance to drop gear? Absolutely, I do. Okay. That's it. I mean, I don't really think this one's too crazy for me. Like, I don't think I need to leave like a crazy ass dissertation. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Anyway, talking about what Zillion was just talking about. There was one of the, you know, friends of the stream, private messaged me on Discord. And, and he actually came up with a pretty good point. I'm going to kind of read a little bit of what he said. He says, just want to say I completely agree with the main class need good foundation in order for the game and the character progression to feel interesting and meaningful. I could give an example from when I started playing my first MMORPG in 2004, Lineage 2. The leveling back then was slow and hard. Until you gather enough money, you couldn't upgrade or buy new skills, passives, items, consumables, and other stuff. I honestly believe classes should have more passive abilities, which represents the strength they had gained through their hard work, completed quests, monsters killed on their journey. There's a lot of options for passive abilities and their upgrade/level up. Increase attack when using a sword, shield, polearm, dual swords, and so on for every weapon. I basically just gave examples. That made me honestly think more so about the leveling and the cadence of leveling in Ashes of Creation. If we're putting points in and all we're basically earning is just abilities and there's no other kind of power progression, or there's nothing else that's also happening in turn when you level, is leveling going to feel good to you? You know, and I'm saying this like as an honest question. Like, if you just got a talent point when you leveled and all you could pick is an ability, and it took you 2.5 hours to get that point, like, does that feel good to you? Like, what do you want for a level up? Like, from start to finish, like, would you want like a little bit of a passive stat boost? Would you want, you know, a more meaningful talent tree to put that point in to where it's not just an ability you earn? Maybe it's more of a passive. Like what do people want from the leveling experience, right? Like, when you ding, what happens to your character? I think it's a really, really good question, because there's a lot of games that slightly do leveling different, right? And again, this isn't a game where you're going to level from 1 to max level in a single day, right? So there is going to be a kind of pretty slow cadence to how your leveling is going to be earned. Let me see. Now it's like 14 hours from 1 to max. Oh yeah, it's like super fast. Let me see. I want it all. I just want it now. Dude, but Umbral, we all do, man. I still haven't watched the fighter showcase. Maybe I should watch it live and stream it. Might prove I actually exist. Dude, Zillion, you gotta watch it, dude. It's so good. Or you're just an AI. Zillion AI. Oh my god. Or you can just buy your way up to the top now, unless they quit with that. Now have logged in since they stabbed crafters in the back. What did they stab crafters in the back with? I'm curious, Firebrand. What do you mean when you say something like that? In SWTOR? Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Ashes. I was like, wait, what? Like what are you talking about? So, yeah, like, I was sort of thinking, and I know I was memeing yesterday on Diablo 4. However, how would you feel if a leveling bar had 2 points in it? Like, let's say at 33% and at 66%, you earned an ability talent and a weapon talent in a single bar. So as you're leveling, you actually have multiple things to look forward to in that single bar level. In Diablo 4, they do that with the late game system, where when you hit, I think 50 something, I think it is, there's like 3 breakpoints in the bar where you earn a point to like allocate. Like, how would you guys feel if Ashes did something like that? So from, like, let's say from level 1 to 2, you have 2 breakpoints in there that you will earn 2 different points at, like at 33% and 66%. Is that something that people would be okay with, or is that something people don't want? Just curious. I gotta be right back because my baby is waking up. I don't want her to cry. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Is the leveling twice as long? If not, then can I wait to level twice? The leveling in Ashes is going to feel a longer than classic WoW. So if you thought classic WoW was long to level, Ashes is going to feel probably 2 times as long as that. Potentially. So this way, if there are breakpoints within the single bar, there are things to look forward to other than just the ding to the next number level, right? And I was even thinking if there's going to be a third breakpoint. So once you hit level 25, instead of there being 2 breakpoints in your leveling bar, there are now 3 breakpoints in your leveling bar from like 25 to 26. So you'd have one at 25%, one at 50%, and one at 75%. And what that would be is your ability talent point, your weapon talent point, and your augment talent point. And then once you actually ding, right? So this is how I would kind of do it. So your points, you would basically earn like right off the rip. Like, not right off rip, I'm sorry. That's not the way to say it. You would earn at each breakpoint. I also got to caveat this because I didn't even mention this before. Also, during the character creator part of the thing, if you chose, let's say, the fighter class, there's going to be passive stats, strength, stamina, agility, you know, whatever, right? All of your passive stuff. You would have 8 passive points to allocate as you wish at your character creator for each class. And there's going to be, like, for the fighter, let's say it already has passively like 4 points into strength. You know, so if you want to put all 8 of your points to all in strength and nothing else, you could do that. But that's what I would do. And then what I would do is that for every time you level, you can then choose in game to like increase, like in World of Warcraft, when you level, it just gives you random major stats like, oh, +2 to strength, +1 to stamina, +1 to agility, you know, +1 to intellect. It just kind of gives you that when you level automatically. In Ashes, I would actually allocate that decision to the player. So when you level, like each time you level, you're given like 3 passive points. And you can put those passive points all into strength. You can put 1 into strength, 1 into stamina, 1 into intellect, or 1 into agility, however way you want to build out your character. That way, each time you level, you're already choosing your points, your passives, your skills, your weapons, like everything. And I think that would be a very cool and rewarding leveling experience. So I don't know how people feel about that, but we will see. Let me see. I don't think I want the loot, the baby drops. Wait, what? What are you guys talking about? Let me see. Rocksec, aren't weapons talents a different system though? I mean, technically I could level 2 different weapons during one character level. No, absolutely. That's what I mean. So, the thing is though, even if you're leveling other weapons, you still have to allocate those points like to whatever weapon you're trying to primarily use, right? So in my system, if you level, right, you earn that weapon point. If you're using swords and you put it into swords and now you want to use axes, well, you already put it into swords. Like, what do you want to do, right? So I think it's one of those things that it gives the player a little bit more agency, but it also forces the player to like make their decisions matter in that sense. Let me see. Not dying often is a big reason I'm going to route with the main. Harder to kill what you can't see or can't catch. Dude, did you guys see that Steven said that a cleric res is going to eliminate certain portions of XP debt? Like if you let a cleric res you? I was like, holy shit. Like that's going to make res, like a cleric res, like super powerful. Sorry, my baby was coughing. Let me see. Rogue, I mean, can't type tonight. Oh, rogue. Oh, okay. Now I understand what you said. I'm going rogue with the main, harder to kill. Oh, you can't see what you can't catch. Let me see. I blame auto carrot. Auto carrot. Long ass week of serious back pain. You see, every class, the real A classes will all be very important to include in a party. No, I agree with that. I think every class is going to feel very meaningful, a part of the entire raid group. And that's what it should feel like, personally. You end up focusing an entire character on a specific weapon set, as it would be harder to master a different weapon set at higher levels. Well, that's what I mean, right? So if you're putting your points in, your weapon points into a particular, into pole arms, right? Well, if you like swords as you're leveling, well, I'm not saying that you should be like, well, you made your decision on pole arms. Like, I think there should be a way to like reset those kind of points, right? Or to like, I don't know if it should be a gold sync, or I don't know if it should be maybe some kind of a crafted item that an inscribe could make for you, to like a scroll of regret, right? Let's say I regretted those points in swords, so I'm going to put them in like, I think something like that should be something you would need to buy to like reallocate those points in swords and put them in pole arms, or get them from pole arms and put them in swords. Like that's what I kind of think about, like those kinds of systems. You see, I'm very interested to see what Rogue brings to the party. Well, I think Rogue's going to bring some pretty interesting things. Like I honestly feel like Rogues are going to have they're definitely going to have a mass conceal. I can tell you that right now. They're definitely going to have that for groups. I don't know if it's going to be super overpowered or what it's going to be, but I know there's going to be some serious buffs that the Rogues are going to bring. 100%. I think people that saw the fighter showcase and were severely impressed by it, they're going to watch the Rogue showcase and be like, oh my God. Like they're going to really freak out. That's what I personally think. Let me see. I was going to say a polearm nerf comes out and your whole character is useless, but you got it. Oh, okay. Well, at least I got it right. Let me see. Then you can't level weapons after you hit max. The way it's currently designed, you can work at leveling all weapons. I sort of like that. Well, and again, like as soon as I see the system, like for what it is, then I will leave feedback accordingly. This is, like I said, it's kind of the issue with playing Ashes of Creation on paper, because there's so much shit that I have to remember as a content creator. There's so much stuff that Ashes is doing very differently from other MMOs. But again, I'm just excited to see what they decide to do, and whatever implementation they do as far as like the ability tree, the weapon tree, the augment tree, whatever. I am going to test the crap out of it, and I will leave my feedback accordingly. 100%. I enjoyed EQ1 when dinging increased your skill cap, but you can still use the skill to actually level it up. Probably not applicable in Ashes. Yeah, probably not. But again, I mean, it's kind of hard to say like what Steven or what the team actually wants to do with dinging, with actually like, because I think they need to do something interesting throughout the grind. Like, my fear is it's going to take you in a solid group, let's say 6 hours to go from like level 19 to level 20. If it's going to take me 6 hours and all I do is go from 0% to 100% to then get a little bit of stat increase and then earn 1 point, that's kind of shitty in my opinion. Like, and it works in other MMOs because of how fast the leveling experience is. Like, it's so quick, like you're just like, the dinging almost doesn't even matter at that point. But if it's going to take that long to level in Ashes, as you're leveling, there needs to be milestones that almost is like that kind of cheerleader for you. Like, oh, keep going. You're like at 50%. Oh, now you're at 75%. Like, and you get these like things that happen to you as you're progressing in that level. Let me see. Yep. Test. Yep. Exactly. Do you get more XP being solo? No, you do not. You actually earn more experience in a group. There's actually a group XP buff in Ashes. There is not one for being solo. So it'll actually be slower for you to level if you're playing solo, which I think that is awesome personally. Like, there are many games where there are solo buffs. You know, if you're playing by yourself, you get like an XP bump. This is a game that actually incentivizes grouping. And I think it's about fucking time because I want to be in a group. I want to be with a group of friends and do shit. I don't want to do shit by myself. See, I leveled in Star Wars Galaxies and Lineage 2, so the leveling process isn't going to matter to me much. Well, in those games too, the leveling was pretty grueling in those games. So again, I want the leveling ding to actually feel good. And I want the process of leveling to that level to feel good. And I think there are things that we can do to actually succeed in that. I feel like Ashes might have an issue with tunnel vision, as you will only be focused on your node unless something outside pokes you and lets you see something going on outside your immediate area. Well, I think there are going to be, I think honestly, there's going to be a lot of squirrel moments for people in Ashes. I think nodes are going to be a big thing, but honestly, if that's not your primary focus as an individual and it's all about crafting, then what's going to be a squirrel to you is seeing a mining node, seeing a tree, seeing this, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's going to be plenty of things that are going to deter you in completely opposite directions of your primary objective, because there's going to be shiny shit, I think, everywhere. There's going to be events. There's going to be, you know, PvP. There's going to be quests, side quests. There's going to be nodes leveling. There's going to be new things happening. Like, I think Ashes is going to be one of those games that you will log in because you said to yourself, I'm going to accomplish this thing today. And you will do like 17 things that day that wasn't any of the things that you were set out to do that day. Like, that's what I feel like Ashes is going to be like in a nutshell. Group for quest events and exploring sounds great for most efficient XP. Yeah, like, I think, again, I'm probably going to do a little bit of leveling solo in Ashes, but when the boys get on, you bet your ass I'm going to be in a group with them, leveling and grinding and dungeoning and doing all the things with them, because that's what MMOs are all about. You know, the boys are on, let's freaking link up and let's go do shit. That's what I want so bad. Let me see, is it really needed to have those checkpoints if you're going to be working towards getting new gear, new skills, and maybe passives through things like religion, etc. I think they are needed. Why not? Like, I think there should be plenty of avenues to keep you engaged in the game. Like, just because there are other things that are going to keep you engaged doesn't mean that we have to maybe take things away or make things certain, like streamlined, or like, oh yeah, you can just level for 5 hours and not have anything happen to you. Like, I don't know. I think that's a little bit boring. You know, why can't we do something that's more than that? You know, playing with the boys 100%. Yeah. Let me see. Experience XP is gained through a variety of vertical and horizontal progression paths, such as PvP, PvE, exploration, gatherables, processing, crafting, events, quests, mob grinds. Like, yeah, it's gonna have all that shit. If I'm in a group of gatherers that day, I'll start chopping trees with someone runs off to a mining node. Yeah, like, it's gonna be crazy, dude. Like, I think that's gonna be the most exciting portion of this game, is you're literally going to see groups of people all over the place doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see that shit. Delay, dude, how's it going, man? Happy Thursday. Got to keep that XP up, 100%, dude. You see, I will get to play with friends on that weekends, but during the week, my schedule is the opposite of the average worker. Dude, honestly, like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do it. Like, I was talking to my wife about it. So I'm going to be, the week of Alpha 2, I'm going to be off. But I told my wife, if my YouTube, if my Twitch and everything starts blowing up, I'm going to call out of work. And I told my wife, it's like, I'm going to focus on YouTube. I'm going to focus on Twitch. Like, I feel like you have to hit while the iron is hot, and you just can't expect that it's just going to stay hot while you're gone. So I'm going to take all advantage of when Alpha 2 goes live, and I'm going to be streaming. I'm going to be doing all the things with you guys, hopefully playing, testing, more grinding, more leveling, doing it all. I like where the game is so far, or I like where the game is going so far. Dude, I'm glad you do, man. So do I. You see, I'm at work right now, dude. Well, I am glad you are watching, man. Let me see. Yeah, you better be there, because it's like you have to. Yeah, I mean, I want to, you know, I want to be there. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait till I'm doing a live stream and I'm saying, dude, tomorrow we're playing fucking Ashes. Are you guys ready for that conversation? Like, when I am streaming and I say, guys, tomorrow, 10 a.m., we're fucking gonna be in Vera. Like, that's gonna be a hype ass moment. Like, that's gonna be a moment where, I don't know, I might do a 24-hour stream. I don't know. We'll see. Let me see. I'm not. It's gonna be crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I literally can't wait. I think it's gonna be so much fun. Let me see. A2 coming out. I'm taking a week off. I already told my boss. Yeah, no, I already told, like, my job knows about it, my wife knows about it. Like, but if shit's still popping off on day 6 or day 8, like, I'm not gonna go in. You know, I'm just gonna, sorry. You know, I'm just not I gotta stream. I gotta play some Ashes. You will see, do a recap of the journey to the point and then 24-hour on launch. Probably. I'll probably do something like that. I actually wanted to, so I'm in the process of making another Ashes trailer. And what I was kind of hoping to do was release it like the day before Ashes A2 launches. Because I'm thinking about labeling this trailer called Before the Storm. So we'll see. I think I have actually streamed a little bit of it with you guys. It's changed a little bit. I kind of changed a little bit of it, but music is still the same. But yeah, I know dates. I'll request PTO, but I have a newborn on the way as well, so gotta learn juggling. Dude, Rucksack, dude, I can tell you this, man. I'm watching my baby through my baby monitor. My wife is dead asleep. I don't know if this is your first one or not, but being a dad is hard, especially to a newborn. I wish you all the luck, all the best of luck. And there's many moments where it's super hard, but there's many moments that feel so satisfying too. Just saying that. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. 2 weeks to go, and yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's definitely a thing that I would not trade for anything, man. 100%. Well, guys, I don't really want to do too much of a long stream today because honestly, I am tired. It's 10 o'clock tonight. I want to go to sleep. I have work tomorrow in the morning. I have shit that I got to do tomorrow that I don't want to do, but I got to do it. And thank you so much, guys, for coming on and just doing this little short stream. I still got stuff I need to do. I got to put my, exclamation socials. I got to do my exclamation merch for the Twitch chat. So that way, if people want to get stuff, they can just do that. I haven't even done that yet. I really appreciate everybody's support and everybody just coming on and just chatting and just talking ashes, man. Like this is so therapeutic for me. You have absolutely no idea how therapeutic it is for you guys to come on and just for us to hang out and just be with the boys and talk ashes. Like it's awesome. I really, really appreciate you guys just coming on, hanging out with me and talking ashes. Thank you. But yes, I will not be streaming tomorrow at 7. Hopefully I might stream on the weekend. We shall see, but I think I will probably stream on the weekend. Vlhadus, do you think it's going to be the game? Wait, do you think the game will player faction based? I think Ashes is going to be a guild faction based game. I think it's really going to matter what guild you're in, depending on your server. That's why I tell people, get with a good guild now, because there's a lot of guilds that are getting really big now and they may not recruit. There's actually guild leaders that I've talked to saying that I don't know if we can keep getting people. We're getting too big. So find your people now if you can, because if you wait longer, you may not be able to be in the guild that you might have wanted to be in. So Vlad, have you ever I'm guessing have you ever played ArcAge? I have not played ArcAge before. I have not. I think I tried to attempt it, or I think I saw a YouTube video of it and it just looks too old for me. So I have not played it. Pseudo factions, you can choose to join or leave or not be forced into it. Yes, exactly, Nemesis. 100%. Yeah, I'm hoping Lowforge will let me in. Yeah, like there's plenty of guilds out there that are still recruiting, but again, don't be in the mindset that, oh, I can just wait and, I'll get in whenever. Because again, there's some guilds that don't want to be that big. And once they reach their guild cap or whatever their limit is, they're not going to recruit anymore. And now it's like you're basically like a pending app, like you're going to be a pending application. Send them my way. Verified is getting off the ground. Dude, okay, Firebrand. I will definitely keep that in mind. I mean, you're one of my OG 3-time winner of the Questions of Creation trivia master over here. So I'll definitely do that for you, man. I will just pay a guild's freehold to process all my stuff. Yeah, you can definitely do that, man. Again, guys, thank you so much for coming on and chilling, hanging out. It's always appreciated. I hope you guys have a great Thursday, also a great Friday, and also a great weekend if I don't stream on this weekend. So, guys, cheers. Love you guys. And again, let's make MMOs great again. Peace.